So, the Sony YouTube page released a 50-second clip from the new Ghostbusters Afterlife film. The scene shows Paul Rudd in a supermarket and he's going past the aisle where they keep marshmallows. I say marshmallows, but I know it's marshmallows. But he sees a bunch of marshmallows and they start coming to life, and guess what? They look like a bunch of mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Men, and they have cute little baby voices, and he thinks, oh, that's adorable. And then they start biting his fingers and start lighting themselves on fire and making s'mores out of each other. And the whole thing is supposed to be cute and funny, but to me, it doesn't feel like Ghostbusters. I was watching a video of the quartering, and he was talking about how the original Ghostbusters films, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, were very much horror films, and the comedy came from watching these normal people that were also just kind of funny guys in real life reacting to these horrific events in a comedic manner. And I've been thinking that for a long time, thinking, man, if I wanted to see a Ghostbusters 3, I wanted to see a Ghostbusters 3 with updated ghost effects. I mean, you think about ghosts nowadays compared to what they were back in the 80s and the early 90s. They have definitely come a long way, and they're definitely a lot creepier nowadays. I mean, even going back, I forget how old the Ring is. Like, it feels like it was just released yesterday, but yeah, I think I was in middle school when that was released back in the early 2000s. But when I imagined a Ghostbusters 3, I always thought it would be really cool to see ghosts like that, like seeing the girl from The Ring crawl out from a closet or something and just be totally horrific looking, and then having Bill Murray just standing there and just saying some really funny comment, and just sucking the air out of the really scary scene. Yeah, Ghostbusters 1 and 2 had a lot of scary stuff in it, and that's what made it entertaining. It was entertaining to see these normal guys that had good senses of humor in their everyday lives reacting in a blue-collar fashion to all of this fantastical stuff that's going on around them. So I actually grew up watching the second Ghostbusters more often than I did the first Ghostbusters because my parents thought the first Ghostbusters film had too many adult themes in it, and the second one was a little tamer in that regard. So yeah, definitely really enjoy the second Ghostbusters movie. And that movie had some genuinely scary scenes. I mean, there's that scene where the guy from the museum turns into a ghost, and he's dressed up like a maid or something. I don't know what he's dressed as. Dressed like a maid. He looks like Mary Poppins kind of, and he's pushing a baby carriage and he's flying through the air as a ghost, and he reaches out his really long arm and grabs the Oscar baby, and his eyes glow red, and it just like creeped me out as a kid. And they play that really scary music. It wasn't a goofy scene. It was like, oh, that's really scary. That would freak me out. There were no silly, the rattles in the baby carriage didn't come to life and have little cute faces and start pulling on the little kids' hands and stuff. There was nothing like that. It was just like a genuinely scary scene. There was another scene in Ghostbusters 2 that freaked me out as a kid when Ray, Winston, and what's his name, Egon, are walking through an abandoned subway, and they realize there's an echo. They're all like, "Hey, hello!" And then yeah, Winston gets off the last "hello," and then there's no echo. And then you just hear this loud "Weird Star." And they're just totally freaked out. Then they turn around and they're surrounded by decapitated, rotting heads that are screaming at them, and they're all freaking out. And just as a kid, I was like, "This is horrifying. Why is this in a PG rated?" Essentially it's a family film, and yeah, I want to see something like that in Ghostbusters Afterlife. And this new clip that came out doesn't give me a lot of hope that we will get some genuine horror scenes in this movie, which I think really makes Ghostbusters different from other comedies. That was my problem with the 2016 Ghostbusters film. There were just too many clowns in the movie. Everybody was funny and everybody was acting really hyperbolic, and it just didn't seem like it took place in the real world. It seemed like it took place on the stage of Saturday Night Live. It felt like they were doing a Ghostbusters parody and that it wasn't a Ghostbusters film. There weren't any scary moments in that movie. It was all played for jokes. There were no scary librarians chasing them out of the library. There were no decapitated heads screaming at them. There were no ooze monsters coming out of the bathtub trying to eat people's babies. People weren't getting sucked into the refrigerator, and I don't know. Now, a lot of people are excited for Ghostbusters Afterlife, and a compliment, well, it's both a criticism and a compliment that people are making, is that it looks like Stranger Things with proton packs. Now, a lot of people are excited by Stranger Things. This YouTube channel is called Unpopular Movie Opinions, and I guess it would be television opinions too, but I did not like Stranger Things. I thought it was interesting enough for me to want to watch the first season all the way through, and then eventually got through the second season, but I don't know. People say it pays homage to the 80s. I think it just straight up rips off the 80s. I was predicting the lines they were going to say, and I was predicting the plot points and the plot twists, and I just thought it was really cliched. And so anytime someone makes the Stranger Things comparison, I think, oh, great. Guess I'm not going to enjoy this film, but you never know. I hope I'm pleasantly surprised. I really like Paul Rudd. I hope that they bring back the legacy characters in a respectable way. Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Ernie Hudson. I've been wanting to see these characters in a third Ghostbusters movie for a long time, and we didn't get that really in the 2016 version, and I'm hoping that they give us a good send-off to those characters in this one. So yeah, if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, and I will catch you next time.